is said that silence is golden. Yes, silence is golden, but then again, we cannot maintain the culture of silence, not in everything. Silence cannot be golden in everything. There are some things that we need to lend our voices to in the face of the chaos. There's some type of chaos when it rings in your head and you cannot hold it back. And then you tell yourself that, look, if I remain silent, I will be doing a disfavor to myself. And one of such chaos is the one that we'll be talking about this morning on the Eagle's Outlook, as we use the eagle's eyes to mirror into political and current affairs issues as they bear on the front pages of Nigerian newspapers, as they bear, whether it's found in ministries, departments of and agencies, as they bear in the National Assembly, House of Reps and Senate respectively, as they bear and show up, whether within the Nigerian police, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of the military. We will talk about it. We will not keep quiet. And that's why this morning we will be looking at Ajaokuta Steel. Ajaokuta Steel, yes, in Kogi State. We will be looking at Ajaokuta Steel. My name is Uduak Daniel, and this conversation bothers you. It bothers me. It bothers everybody. And we should all indeed turn up for this one. Now, the Ajaokuta Steel Company. Ajaokuta Steel Company was conceived in 1979 as Nigeria's flagship industrial project. It was intended to produce steel for construction, steel for railways, steel for manufacturing. But imagine a massive, empty factory built with the promise of thousands of jobs and a self-reliant steel industry, yet after more than 4 decades, it has never rolled out a single sheet of steel. Instead, the plant has become a payroll institution, with the federal government continuously allocating money to keep workers on the books. Imagine that. Now in 2026, or in the 2026 appropriation bill, about 26 billion naira is earmarked for the steel sector, of which 6.04 billion naira, roughly 90% of Ajaokuta's budget, goes to personnel costs, while only 410 million naira, that is less than 7%, is set aside for capital projects such as equipment rehabilitation or infrastructure upgrades. Now, I need you to recall that in 1979, the Shehu Shagari administration launched the Ajaokuta project with Soviet technical assistance, and it was aimed at producing 1.3 million tons of steel annually. By 1994, construction was largely complete, but political instability and funding shortfalls left the plant idle. In 2004, a $1.4 billion US revival contract with Russian firm Taixoprom Export, TPE, that's what it's called, was signed. Yet, it also stalled after a few years. In 2016, I beg your pardon. In 2016, the Buhari government signed a $1 billion US agreement with China's Shimak to complete the plant. But by 2020, the project again stalled. Left alone, just like that. And it stalled with no steel produced. Not one. Throughout these cycles, though, governments continue to pay salaries, resulting in a 38.9 billion naira payroll outlay between 2014 and 2024, and with zero revenue. So why do you keep it? It's still there, moribund. But monies are being earmarked for it. I mean, it's more like every time you hear President Tinubu's renovation, his house renovation, Vice President Shetima's house renovation. Oh, you hear it in the budget every year. Please, when was the last time you rehabilitated or renovated your home? And you hear the chunks of monies that are being earmarked to renovate, change upholstery. Wasn't it the same story we had with NNPCL's moribund refineries? It will shock you to know that there are people who are still paid with the Port Harcourt refinery, Warri refineries, and the Kaduna refineries that are not working. Yet. Ojulari has come up, Ojulari has come up again. Oh, we can revive them. Revive what? Nigerians are asking. Sell it off, the likes of Atiku has said. Privatize this thing. Because it's clear that it does seem as though the government cannot handle it. It's too much on its plate. And understandably so. So why not give it to private sector players who will indeed manage it? Because this time, these ones will know that whatever monies that they're putting into it, it has to yield outcome. But no, we're still having conversations surrounding about we will revive. Let's try to revive. Could it be the same thing we're trying to do with Ajaokuta that has gulped between 2014 and 2024? That's like 10 years. 38.9 billion naira payroll outlay. Today, the plant is employing roughly 3,000 to 4,000 workers, many of whom are ghost staff who never report for work. And according to several investigative reports, this is so. I'm saying this on strong authority now. The current allocation of 6.04 billion naira for salaries represents a 90% share of Ajaokuta's total budget, while only 410 million naira, which is about 6.8%, is available for actual rehabilitation work. So this imbalance is fueling public frustration and is raising questions about fiscal responsibility. Well, I will connect with my guest, Comrade Gerald Okachi. He will add his voice on this one. And maybe tell us some parts, gray areas that we are not seeing. You never know. On the flip side, maybe, just maybe, the allocation as found in the Appropriation 2026 bill of 26 billion naira to the Moribund plant might be of goodwill. Maybe there's a big picture that we're not seeing here. So the questions arise: why does the federal government continue to fund a non-producing steel plant at such a high payroll cost? What are the realistic prospects of reviving Ajaokuta under the current budgetary constraints? How can Nigerians balance job protection with a need for efficient public spending? What alternatives uses could the Ajaokuta site serve if steel production remains unfeasible? Mind-boggling, right? But there's also another twist to it. Some people are saying, oh, there are families now. There are fathers who work there. There are mothers who sweep there, who do other menial jobs there, keeping the place at least recognizable. What about them? If you say that these monies should not be allocated, how do you bankroll these ones. They have children, they have families. Comrade Gerald, good morning.
Oh yes, a very good morning to you, to beautiful people out there, and we are in again and contributing in our own little ways, our own quota to see that we have a better society that we all can be proud of. Thank you for having me.
That's right. Comrade, are you pained with what is going on in this country at the moment? Just generally, are you pained? Are you concerned?
Yes, I'm concerned because I'm a patriot. I know I don't have any other country beside this country, and I am committed to seeing a country that we all can be proud of, a country that can be ranked among the best, when it comes to economic of nations. So I'm very worried because I grew up worrying about Nigeria, seeing my parents frowning faces about the issues, when we are told that we are leaders of tomorrow. And here I am. I'm still frowning face the front. My own children are coming up, asking a lot of questions. Why are we not having lights? Why is anytime people carry out protests, they throw tear gas at them? Why this, why that? And it becomes the same why that I once asked my own parents. So I'm worried that it appears like event continues to repeat itself. I'm worried. I'm worried that a government that's supposed to be proactive, productive, is funding without immeasurable output and continues to do that. I'm worried that history continues to repeat itself in different quotas, in this country. Even some that we are seen to be the solution profiteers of Nigerian challenges, who in broader ways, criticize some of the challenges we are facing, only, succeed in getting opportunity appears to be worse than even those they criticize. So I'm very much worried.
All right, comrade. Let's throw some sentiments into the discourse. Ajaokuta Steel Company has found favor in the sight of the appropriation bill to the tune of 26 billion naira. A company that is not workable, a company that is not producing steel, a company that's not living up to its expectations. They're just lying there, moribund, seeming like a tourist center now. Yet, let's also throw in some sentiments. Now, there is a young man who is 38-year-old, is a father of 3, is from Kogi State. He has an elder brother who works at Ajaokuta as a maintenance technician. Now, every month, the elder brother receives a salary on time, and it helps this young man pay school fees, buy food for his family. However, when he visits the plant, he says, all I see are empty warehouses, rusted machinery, no signs of production. He worries that one day the government will stop paying salaries and it will leave his brother and many others jobless. Now, his experience is showing the human side of the issue. And I'm just trying to excuse the 26 billion naira. Maybe, just maybe there's something we're not seeing.
Hold on, before we continue to progress in error.
Yes.
We can't continue to be making excuses for failure. How do we convince investors we can manage a complex economic reforms? Ajaokuta is no longer an industrial project. It's a test of Nigeria's economic sincerity. 26 billion without steel is not investment. It is institutional denial. So, if we are talking about human angle, those people can be transferred. We have a lot of places they can function easily, very well. Whether you're a technician, you whatever field you find yourself, we have abundant agencies, government-owned agencies where they can function effectively. So, the simple thing is that Nigeria has mastered a dangerous skill of budgeting for failure. From Ajaokuta Steel, as you rightly put, to our refineries, we spend billions and trillions not to produce, but to maintain excuses, and that is what we are doing. and everybody begin to bring it. The same person can work, whether it's an engineer, cleaner, security, they can be, transferred to another place, and they will function very well where there's productivity. If at all we cannot sincerely and honestly get the Ajaokuta state to work, it was designed to be the backbone, the foundation of Nigerian industrial economy, the backbone of the steel production. In 2026, we are budgeting 26 billion. Of course, it's for salaries, security, and as usual, grass cutting that sometime I think one of the senators, either Senator Natasha or somebody, raised about the grass cutting issues and the preservations of idle machines. That is what the 26 billion is all about. So Nigeria is funding inactivity, not industry. It's just like the same same script used over on our refineries. Where we spend trillions of naira on a refinery that do not refine any products. You begin to mention its Port Harcourt, Warri, Kaduna refineries. The pattern is always the same. Government will come up with a lot of announcements, whether it's turnaround or even as you earlier announced about going into contract with either Chinese firm or Russia firm, and the deadline will be announced. Completion dates will be publicized. Yet those dates will come and go. No consequences, no accountability for failure. Rather, what you continue to say, recycled budget. So, Nigeria, I don't have to put it, but then both Ajaokuta Steel and the refinery suffer the same structural disease: endless government ownership, political interference, no performance benchmark, no sanction for failure, no accountability for funds released. This is not incompetence alone; it is institutionalized waste.
Comrade, do you think there's a hand behind Ajaokuta not coming into providence, into workings? Do you think that there is a hand? There's a hand, because for the oil, for the refineries, we can say that it might be a constituted cabal. Certain persons, maybe the importers, maybe the marketers, maybe this, maybe that. There's a lot of variables to it. But for Ajaokuta, what variables might be there to not allow that to become a reality?
We are discussing because we are women, and what brought it to where it is women. What is frustrating it is also women. So you cannot. There are variables there. You can't take that away. Successful governments have made different promises, different speeches, and the same failure. Every administration has promised to fix these assets, especially during campaigns. They use it, especially whenever they visit Kogi State. During military regime, they blame sanctions and technology why they could not finish it. You come to civilian government, they blame contractors and courts. Recent government blame legacy problems, yet Ajaokuta remains silent. And that was what they did in previous other legacy projects like the second Niger Bridge, these railway projects. Until Buhari was courageous enough to at least connect the railway, even though that many claim that it was started by former administration, former President Goodluck Jonathan, and the same with second Niger, but it takes political will to complete it. So I think there are variables. It's only that we are lacking political will.
Okay, let me.
When failure sometimes administration, it starts being accidental. It becomes deliberate. So I think it's deliberate. Okay. The current administration inherited problem, but has continued the same approach.
So comrade, let's
budgeting without production, spending without timelines, oversight without consequences. Yes. Promises were made that Ajaokuta will be revived, but yet, hope is not a strategy.
Now let's look at the other side of the coin. What would a functional Ajaokuta mean for Nigeria's economy? A functional Ajaokuta, what would it mean for Nigeria's economy?
It means a lot. It means a lot. Just like what we are experiencing with a Dangote refinery that is working now. Because of the Dangote refinery coming on stream. Every Nigeria is benefiting today. You see, petrol or fuel would have gone over 1,000 plus, if not close to 1,500, as the case may be. If you go to neighboring countries. They are selling in that range. And again, our naira to dollar would have been maybe skyrocketing towards 2,000 because 2,000 naira to dollar because of exchange rates. Those vocabulary they used to confuse us. Insurance this, insurance that, security this, each liter. So those things are no longer there, and that is why you see our naira appreciating, to dollar, and that is why we begin to hear governments hitting their chest and telling that inflation is dropping and the economy is reviving back to life. So that is what Ajaokuta can do for us, if not even more. If you have a functional Ajaokuta that is functioning very well, insecurity will reduce drastically, because many of our idle youths that are being easily recruited into this terrorism venture, banditry field, we one way or the other get themselves busy. Say for example, if you look at activities of Dangote refinery, if you look at the direct job he has given, it runs into almost hundreds of thousands. You look at additional people that are not directly engaged by Dangote refinery that are benefiting from that refinery, whether it's transporters or those filling stations or what have you. Including the traders that are trading in some of the products that is produced through